Now let's talk about building your team. This is something that really was difficult for Mike and I when we started our company years ago, and it's hiring people. Hiring people can be very difficult, and managing people, it's usually not very fun. And so how do you find the right employees? Who do you hire? How do you hire them? Let's talk about that here today. What I would recommend doing, first of all, is try to do this on your own for as long as possible until you get to a point where you physically cannot manage it anymore. And I say that because this is important for understanding how the business operates. Don't outsource it too quickly, because then if you try to manage someone on a project and you haven't done it yourself in the past, then it's going to be a little bit more disconnected. So try to do this on your own for as long as possible. But once you get to a point where you can't work anymore, then you want to start outsourcing. Now, what we do in our company is we have a running list with different categories of potential freelance workers. So we can tap someone anytime we need someone, whether it's, we don't have the bandwidth and we need someone to build a website, or we need someone to run ads for someone. We can just go and tap someone in that, specific category. And we have probably close to 100 different freelancers on this list that we can go to whenever we need something done. So this is useful. Build up your arsenal, basically, of freelance workers who can help you on any specific projects. Now, how do you go out and find them? There's a couple of options here. You can use something like Upwork. Honestly, I love Upwork. We've hired so many people from Upwork. You can also use something like Workable, which I will leave a link to below in the description. And Workable is great for hiring people, and they have a lot of other services as well. And they have HR as well, which is going to be helpful. Or you can use something like Paired. So I've used Paired as well. This is a little bit more expensive, but this is like a headhunter where they will help find an employee for you, and they'll vet them, they'll source them, they'll handle all of it, and then give you a really great high quality employee. So this is something that I do think can be pretty great as well. And I'll leave a link to Paired below in the description. They're a little bit more expensive, but if you want to take it seriously and you are scaling, then I would check out Paired. Now, where should you hire from? I just want to talk on this briefly because we used to hire people in the United States, and the problem here is that it's really expensive. So if you want to hire someone for your agency in the United States, you're looking at $60,000 a year minimum, but probably closer to $80,000 a year or more for your marketing agency. And if it's something really specific too, if you want someone to run ads, those people are very expensive. They can be well into the six-figure range if they are American. And so we actually end up hiring people in different countries where the cost of labor is a lot cheaper, and it's kind of a win-win for both us and for the person who we're hiring, because they're making a lot more money than they would in their country that they live in. So for example, we love hiring people in Argentina or Brazil because the time zone is very similar and the language is pretty similar as well. Spanish or Portuguese and English, there's not much of a language difference there. Really, the cost is going to be at a much better price. I mean, we're talking like a quarter of the price. So if you're paying someone $80,000 a year in America, you could get someone with honestly the same amount of skills and credentials for $20,000 a year. That's going to be a much higher price than they could get if they were, working at a company in their own country. So it's basically a win-win. I'm a huge advocate of hiring people outside of the United States. You can go to the Philippines, you can go to Malaysia. There's most countries around the world are going to be a lower cost of labor and just as good of quality of labor if you source them properly. So you can do that on Upwork. You can do that with Workable or with Paired. That's what I recommend doing, is sourcing international.